Well, it's not just the game of the week. CSN, we're down in Hancock County to watch number 5 Whitmer face number 6 Findlay with first place in the NLL's Buckeye Division on the line. Welcome in, everybody. Mason Lowry and Rodney Martin with you. Great to have you with us. It might still be early February, my friend, but this feels like March.
This feels like a championship environment, like you just said a moment ago. It's so hot in here and humid. You can feel the thickness of competition right here in this gym.
Two teams with identical records, both 15-1, both 4-1 in the conference, both with a near identical state ranking. Sweltering heat. These two teams 7 weeks ago ended 67-45 in favor of Findlay. That surprised a lot of people, but having seen them a couple times since, it probably shouldn't have.
No, it shouldn't have. And like we were talking to Coach Stacy in the locker room earlier, a lot of these young men from Findlay have been playing together since they were in the 3rd and 4th grade. So you know the team chemistry and played their hardest, and they're a very physical team. So they just did what they do.
So the Panthers in blue, Findlay in white. Of course, the loss to Findlay, Whitmer's only defeat on the season. Findlay was tripped up a couple weeks ago at Perrysburg. A couple of teams that score a lot of points, but Whitmer only mustered 40-37. Here's Antoine West from way outside.
I told you he was going to be locked and loaded, ready for this game. He wasn't going to go 3 for 16.
Yeah, he struggled mightily against the Trojans first time around. There's the line. That
was a good absorption for Findlay.
Open three at the other end, wouldn't drop for Tamarion Davis. A flying start to this game. Javante Hill had 18 points against Whitmer in the first matchup, including 3 big-time dunks that really took the Whitmer.
This game is going to be up and down until both teams kind of settle in and the nerves are going, and then you can see some real good play. This game means a whole lot to both teams, you can tell.
Elijah McLeod, a transfer from Wasion, and an excellent three-point shooter. Whitmer at times will have 5. One from the right wing. Now the left wing 3 is good, right in front of the Findlay students and bench.
He's ready to go. You can tell by his emotions when he came out of the locker room. I was like, he's in for a good night tonight.
Findlay, a team that really wants to play in the half court. Play disciplined ball. That's well short from Javante Hill. Whitmer, in contrast, will try and beat you down the floor. And Anthony Stacy, I'm sure he would tell you that if his team didn't run a set all game, he wouldn't cry. Sticking with it is Makai Leach. What a great addition.
Whitmer is ready. They locked and loaded on defense. You can tell they locked in it for the scouting report. They've been switching really well, communicating, pointing hands, pointing fingers, talking to each other.
A lot is starting with Javante Hill in the half court for the Trojans in the early stages of this game.
They're on the string.
Spinning, driving, and scoring.
That's what he does very, very well. He gets downhill and finishes around the basket. Finishes around the basket better than anyone in this area. I almost called him ESPN.
McLeod off the mark on the 3. And there's the first foul of the game. Napoleon Jemison. Starting lineups are brought to you by Ballast Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at ballastbuickgmc.com. We've talked about Hill and Cordogna and Link, Wyrau, Best, and Ernst. Some terrific complementary players to those 3. Wyrau is a guy that can score. He averages 9 points a game. Got a lot of guys that can score. I relish the opportunity to try and take the opposition's best scoring guard out of a game. Well, good luck taking Will Cordonier out of a game.
Both of these teams are drawing at each other. You got to love this game here.
He was in the face of Tylen Davis, who had just come off the bench for the Panthers. One kid Antoine West manufactured. Tees up McLeod.
Nice driving kick there by West, finding McLeod in the corner. McLeod likes those corner shots.
He averages 11.4 points per game. Now the Whitmer students to our left are loud, making a lot of noise from the second deck. Wyrau got his defender up in the air. That was Leach who left his feet.
Leach was a little bit late in the baseline rotation. He should have met him outside that lane line and made that shot a little bit more difficult.
It's been a much better offensive start to this game for Whitmer. The Whitmer Panthers. Tamarion Davis is in, not a player that usually starts, with West, Leach, McLeod, and Jemison, and notably absent from the starting five, Andre Young, one of the two transfers along with Davis from Emmanuel Christian. He will not play tonight. He will not play tomorrow, according to Anthony Stacey, for, as he put it, failure to meet my expectations. So that's losing one of your starters. It's probably the Panthers.
Oh, it's for sure. They have so much talent and so much depth. You just asking one of the other young men that have been practicing to step up for that. Oh, no.
That was telegraphed. Here comes Javonte Hill. Couldn't throw it down. We'll have to settle for the lay-in.
Long cross-court pass. Hill played the passing lane perfect. I'll tell you about this. It's hard to come back on a Findlay team that gets the lead.
That is very, very true. Great footwork by Sam Ernst down the baseline, the son of University of Findlay head coach Charlie Ernst. So great basketball bloodlines, clearly.
Be alert and watch for a driving kick to maybe Cordonier in the corner or Hill getting downhill. But the early rotation should help.
Cordonier, the kick. Missed everything. But corralled by Wyrau, rises up and scores.
Wyrau is a very capable scorer. You got to get the loose rebounds. This is what you play for. I'm almost feeling like I want to play.
There's another steal. It's Wyrau this time, and Anthony Stacey has seen enough. Well, you made the point just a minute ago, Rodney, that this is a Findlay team that is difficult to come back against, and they have shown us why ever since those
5 ball turnovers against Findlay in their own gym. It's already an environment where it's tough to play, it's tough to hear, so you've got to be locked in. You can't give those turnovers, live ball turnovers.
This timeout brought to you by Genoa Bank, taking your banking needs personally. Well, Whitmer came out with a terrific start. They had then to 13-3 Findlay run. Jim Ruckey, the longtime Findlay head coach in his 24th season, said at the start of the year, I'm cautiously optimistic that we can have a pretty good team this year. You take a terrific scorer like Jake Bishop off of the squad. Nearly everybody else comes back. You inject elite games for the Trojans last year, and that's a recipe for a top 10 team in Ohio.
Oh, for sure, no question. Now they switched up the defense to a 1-3-1 now. Got to watch the loopy passes. They're trying to get you to create those passes so they can get the deflection and get downhill, get the turnover.
Well, they showed a triangle and 2 at times last year when these two teams met down. Leach, well, he nearly turned it over, and then he did. A wayward pass behind Damian Clay, who's in off the bench.
Leach thought Clay was going to stay there in the corner. Clay cut on it, so there's bad communication.
That's 4 Whitmer turnovers. Findlay, in contrast, has been very composed at both ends of the floor. Whitmer needs to find that composure.
I mean, to add to Findlay plays great man-to-man defense, and they're very physical.
Their loss this year to Perrysburg, the Yellow Jackets were able to match that physicality, which has not happened often this year.
This is impressive. Watch all 5 young men move.
And it is Leach who will pick up the foul.
Now, you can't, when you're guarding a guy out there in the perimeter, you can't switch your hips and let him go straight down the line. You've got to contain that guy and try to keep him in front of you so that way you don't need as much help. As soon as you turn your hips, he's downhill. Now you're forced to rotate, and then now you start to leave open people so they can get down shots.
Per game scorer. Got the members bounce on the first free throw. This regular season has gone by so quickly. Only 2 more Fridays left in it, and then it's tournament time.
Selection Sunday is for Division I is Sunday.
There will be some really intriguing matchups across Northwest Ohio, but especially in Division I. Makai Leach, they really needed that one to go. Whitmer's been stuck on 11 for a while now.
Right now, that 1-3-1 has Whitmer a little bit stumped. They're settling for just wide open threes. Got to be in the gap there.
That's Brody Barnes in off the bench, number 4. Hill. Anthony Stacy, I think, was expecting a defensive foul to be called. And the referee, with a really wide smile, got his attention and said, no, it's a trap. So Davis comes back in for the Panthers. Ben Best has returned for Findlay. Look at all the people up here in the second deck. It absolutely packed to the rafters.
Yes.
Crowd here in Hancock County.
Switch back to man-to-man.
That is something Whitmer is never really able to get comfortable. West off on the 3. Cordonier the rebound.
Finley, although Findlay is a controlled pace team, they will get on a fast break.
Which is not an easy thing to do against Whitmer, a team that is so athletic across the board.
Exactly. He liked that matchup.
Well, that's an 18-3 Findlay run to end the opening quarter. 8 minutes in, and it's living up to the hype. Down at Findlay High School, the Trojans lead Whitmer by 10.
From the number 1 guy, Dave White, Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. His reputation says it all. For the number 1 guy, from the number 1 guy, the place to go is.
New roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that excels at being central to life. It's a place that has remained a cornerstone of the Toledo community for over 100 years. Rooted in its strong faith formation, academics in the classrooms, and energy. Special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life.
Back for the start of the second quarter here at Findlay. The 6th-ranked Trojans up 10 on the. Great to have you here. What has to change for the Panthers to get back in it?
Right now, Findlay has done a great job of mixing up the defense, going from 1-3-1 to man-to-man, and because of that, Whitmer has started to settle in and just shoot threes. They've got to figure out a way to get downhill, get to the basket where they can mix in, get in the paint touch, either by dribble or pass.
Really mirrors what Coach Stacy said after the first time these teams played in December. They took too many threes. They were not able to get into the lane and create good looks that way. Foul is on Ryan Montgomery.
Well, one of the ways, I mean, you can get downhill. Now you've got a better looking three, or you can get on dribble, baseline drift or something like that. But just don't get in here and settle for threes all night.
That's what it has been so far.
Long shots, long rebounds, they're on the break.
It's a testament to how hot and humid and thick it feels. Findlay just played on Tuesday night. They beat Elida 62-30, though that's a game they only led by 4 at halftime. McLeod comes up empty on the three. That's a tie-up. Arrow will keep it with the Panthers. They outscored.
Great looking shot if he shot fake and drive, because they know he's a great shooter from perimeter, so they're going to run out there and chase it. Show him the ball, get to the basket a little bit.
Here's Mekhi Leach wide open. The extra pass set him up. That was Davis who created that for him.
And here again, that was a baseline drift by West, kicked it to the corner guy, and then
one more pass maybe should be the mantra for this Panther team the rest of the way.
You've got right now with Hill with the ball, you know he's a driver, you've got to be in early help. This is what I was talking about when we talked about you get down on Findlay. This is the style of play that they want to have right there. Backdoors.
Disciplined defensively against any rookie team. Offensively too, but man, they will back cut you to death if you give them the opportunity. And that was good discipline there from Leach to stick Javonte Hill. That's not easy for anyone to do.
Not at all. This has been a whole minute right here almost with them having the basketball.
But it's a long but fruitful possession for the Trojans.
You've got to know he's trying to get downhill. They've done all that, and here he goes downhill. You got to be there early help.
And that rattles out for Napoleon Jemison. He got everything right there with the finish. But it's an example of Whitmer getting downhill.
Early help.
Hill, the dump down to Montgomery, who was walled off, but too much contact. Well, Ryan Montgomery, the football star, will go to the line. Second foul on Napoleon Jemison.
Each opened up his hips, and Hill went downhill. Nice backdoor by Montgomery.
Ryan Montgomery, the plan coming into the season was that he would be a starter. But he was dealing with a football injury, and he effectively gave up his spot even when he came. He still gets major minutes for this team. Well, that's the mark of not just a terrific all-around athlete, which we know him to be, but a leader, more to the point.
That's what winning takes, unselfishness. Back to the 1-3-1. Good.
And then not so good. Points. That's Montgomery from the corner. McLeod the rebound for the Panthers. And 5 guys back in transition for the Trojans. They know how much Whitmer can torment you if you're not back quickly. In the end, the Panthers able to pick apart anyhow.
Side, so the opposite guy has to drop. When he went over on ball side, Leach cut back door. That's going to be open a lot. This is the backdoor play that Findlay likes to run.
Wyro's so strong, it's difficult to dislodge the ball from him. He's going to play football at the University of Findlay. Jim Ruckey takes your banking needs personally. Attention student sections. Show us your spirit and tag us on Twitter with a hashtag SSOTW to get in the running to be our Unison Health student section of the week and be featured on Game Day Nation. And I got to tell you, Rodney, these are two of the best student sections that I have heard all year.
I look down and I loving this. I tell you, this environment, right now I'm over here sweating like I'm coaching the game as I'm watching it. Then on the other hand, I'm like, swing that, I'm open.
Well, I know you've got the range to make shots from up here.
I wish.
The Whitmer student section. 9-point Findlay lead. Sam Just is in the game for Whitmer, number 5. He was a starter early on in the season. Now in a bench role. Cordonier from mid-range.
Not sure what they were in. It looked like a 2-3 zone, a miscommunication.
Far because Javonte Hill has done so much of the damage. A quick 3 from McLeod. So he gets bailed out by Tamarion Davis, who throws that off of a Findlay player. Whitmer is 10 3-point attempts at this point of the game. Too many, do you think?
Yes. Like I said earlier, McLeod would get a nice 2-dribble pull-up, or maybe all the way to the basket if he just.
They made 4 of them, but they're going to have to make a whole lot more. They're going to draw much closer off of Wyrow.
Findlay's one of the better defensive teams I've seen this year. 1-3-1. Back door.
Will drive. Hands off to Davis.
I told you he can create stuff because they know him as a shooter. So if he goes ahead and drives, they rotate. He's got early rotation. Pocket pass right there.
And you had made the point to me that last year when Findlay went triangle and 2, you want Pharrell House to drive. He did that a couple of times, and that made Findlay rethink their approach.
Yep, that's and here again, you have to. And you don't expect McLeod to drive.
Wyrow hasn't had to drive all that often this year because they've got other scorers. He may miss, but Sam Ernst is there to put it back in.
They're playing a complete half. Backdoor McLeod.
Crucial. He's only made 1 of the 3s he's attempted so far, and really that is there whenever Mekhi Leach wants to get there.
That right there is going to open up a whole lot of things. You don't have to just settle for 3s.
Yeah, it has to be the long game when you're on the road in this environment, right, down by 9 against a really, really good basketball team.
You just have to chip away. When it's the opposite of them, they'll get a layup.
You know, notably absent from a lot of what Findlay has done in the last few minutes is Javonte Hill.
Oh, it's about to happen. He's about to go down here. You can see him sizing up. You just have to slide your feet and contain the dribble. That's good.
That's terrific defense by Tamarion Davis to force that tough shot, but just fouls Montgomery.
And that's what I meant by discipline. When that shot went up, you've got to put a body on a body. But Montgomery's so physical that he just puts you under the basket.
You really get a sense of how a football player in pads, seeing him like this is something else entirely. Hill left the ball behind. Here comes Elijah McLeod. That's a charge. Ernst, the son of the University of Findlay head coach, dug in and took it. Anthony Stacy not pleased. Let's see it again. Does he have a case?
You knew he was going to get it. You're in Findlay.
Well, and I can go back to something that Rhett Boyd always says. If you take the contact kind of square on your body, whether you're moving or not, so often that goes against the offensive player.
And he just sold it. You know, like you said, a square. Way not to get beat backdoor there by Lee because that was the elbow back.
So much energy defensively right now with him. Here comes Hill, spinning, unable to finish. That's a break for the Panthers. Davis driving and getting really tough on him.
Right there is a good situation. Whitmer didn't settle for the three. They got to the paint. Now you've got to finish it.
That's a first half so far with 0 Findlay turnovers. Here's the 6 from Whitmer.
Right there, drive and touch. Got to be strong with it.
Javon liking. That sends the Panthers on the break. McLeod just has not been able to find the range tonight.
Some of that has to deal with you playing so much defense, sliding your feet, that your legs are starting to go in your jump shot. So here again, show the ball and drive it to the basket, get you a 2-dribble pull-up or something. Nice rotation.
Interception thrown by Ryan Montgomery. There's a kick. Staying with the Panthers, 61 seconds left in the half, and finally Fifth has their first turnover.
Right there, no one stopped West. He probably, in my opinion, should have shot that basketball. I know he's trying to be unselfish and give it to Leach, but right now, you've gotten all the way down to the volley.
6 points. Those have come notably on 2 threes. He has not been able to do much on a drive. Mekhi Leach has, but not there.
Pretty sure Findlay's going to take the last shot.
Only an index finger, and I imagine that's exactly what that means.
One shot. Now right here in this situation, you have to be, if they miss the shot, the offensive putback. Got to stay locked in. You rather go down 9 and go down double digits.
Wyra down the lane, spins, rises up on Davis. No, that gives Whitmer 10 seconds, and Coach Rucky's not happy with the shot selection. But he will be happy with that. Here comes Montgomery. Leach is chasing him. Montgomery, no. Wyra, no. Cordonier, yes. But will it count?
I think they called a foul. Urgency.
Anthony Stacy is going to lose his mind.
I thought the horn went off before he put that back.
Well, he just punched the scores table, Coach Stacy. Luckily for him, the 3 officials you see didn't see it.
No basket.
No, well,
I thought the horn went off on a follow. So there shouldn't be a foul.
well, that's true. And Anthony Stacy, now he can be frustrated with that.
Okay, here you go. Montgomery's coming down.
Timing, I don't think, from this replay, but we will get to
But you
see
see
how it transpired.
You see all 4 Findlay guys are there.
Oh, that light. Boy, that's off, isn't it? Well, it's very, very close, but golly. If it's no basket.
The horn went off, no basket. Now, did they call it technical?
Well, there's no time on the clock, but nobody would stand on the lane, correct?
Right.
Cordonier hits the free throws. Well, it's kind of an odd one, to be honest with you, but Findlay won't mind. They are being roared into the locker room by this big and boisterous crowd here at Findlay High School. Findlay in command of 11 at the break.
CarStereo1.com. Turtle. Ballas Buick GMC has great deals on their powerful lineup of Northwest Ohio. It's the time to buy. Ballas Used Cars has a fantastic selection, including GM certified vehicles that come with a 12-month bumper-to-bumper warranty. Ballas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at ballasbuickgmc.com.
Your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill. Check your data usage or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
Are you looking for a career in high demand? Have you considered a heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration diploma? At Stotzenberger College, we give you all the tools you need to become a skilled HVAC art professional. In times of need, people rely on these experts to guide them through. Through our affordable, flexible, and fast-paced diploma program, you can gain all the skills you need to start your career, led by instructors with real-world experience. Choose a career that cares. Stotzenberger College, educating Ohio since 1926.
Ballas Buick GMC has great deals on their powerful lineup of Northwest Ohio's largest selection of Buicks and GMCs. Now is the time to buy. Ballas Used Cars has a fantastic selection, including GM certified vehicles that come with a 12-month bumper-to-bumper warranty. Ballas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at ballasbuickgmc.com.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill. Check your data usage or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
CarStereo1.com. Turtle.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's a place rooted in its strong focus on college prep curriculum and academics in the classroom that is central to success to so many. Come discover that special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life. Central to academics.
This halftime update is brought to you by Appliance Center, Ohio's largest furniture, mattress, and appliance superstore. Yeah, what a first half from the Findlay Trojans, trying to take command of first place in the NLL's Buckeye division and maybe move ahead of Whitmer in the state rankings. They're up 11 right now, 31-20 in a battle of number 6 against number 5. Mason Lowry, Rodney Martin, great to have you here. What stood out to you, Rodney, in that first half?
The shot selection from Whitmer. I thought that they came out and they knocked down a couple threes, and the whole team bought in. We're going to shoot threes. Whereas here, knock down the first few, okay, it's going in. It's my kind of night. Whereas you should get downhill and get to the basket and get you some easy ones.
Mekhi Leach was able to cause some problems in the paint. And here's West knocking down his other first quarter three, but he did not score again after that. Leach really led the way. Love the stick-to-itiveness here. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Finally gets one to go.
Playing aggressive, getting downhill, taking opportunities, but also you can't give up live ball turnovers and get onto the basket. Those long three-point shots led to long rebounds.
Javonte Hill was the story in the first half for Findlay on the offensive end. Whitmer did not have much of an answer for him, did they?
No, not at all. And I mean, when you're guarding him, you have to have early help. And right now, he's getting downhill. I understand you know the gaps and all that, but Stunt get back and recover. He's the main guy going down to the basket. And once you cut him off, he's spinning off. So you got to be there to help him rotate.
Luke Wyrow chipping in with 6 points. It wasn't all Javonte Hill in the first half. You look at the first half numbers, and Whitmer did not shoot a free throw in the first half. They turned it over 7 times. That's a recipe for disaster.
That's the difference in shot selection, and then you giving live ball turnovers, and Philly's taking advantage of it going in their own gym. The question will be, with 11-point lead, you got to chip away at this right here. You won't be able to get it back at once. Get 2 here, get a stop. Get 2 here, get another stop.
It is so hot inside Findlay High School. They've opened up the doors on the baseline to let a little bit of the cooler air in here. We'll see you back here for the start of the second half. Findlay up 11.
CarStereo1.com. Turtle.
Get the number 1 buy from the number 1 guy, Dave White Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. Its reputation says it all. For the number 1 buy from the number 1 guy. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
We're here for you, right around the corner, ready to serve, connecting our homes, our schools, and our local businesses. So we'll do whatever it takes, every day, to make sure you stay connected when it counts. Buckeye Broadband.
Roll into Midas today for expert service on the best brands for your ride. Let our skilled techs help you save big so you can drive with confidence. Start tire shopping and request your appointment at Midas.com.
The number 1 buy from the number 1 guy, Dave White Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. Its reputation says it all. For the number 1 buy from the number 1 guy. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
Roll into Midas today for expert service on the best brands for your ride. Let our skilled techs help you save big so you can drive with confidence. Start tire shopping and request your appointment at Midas.com.
Introducing the new My Buckeye app. Now you can manage your Buckeye broadband account from your iOS or Android device on the go. View and pay your bill, check your data usage, or get help with any technical questions. Download from your favorite app store today.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And by Sean's Irish Tavern, locally owned and operated. Proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community.
I so appreciate the cheerleaders cheering for us. Vincent Lowry and Rodney Martin here in the loft at Findlay High School. And you just said to me a couple of minutes ago, the start to this half for Whitmer is absolutely critical.
It's crucial for the simple fact that you know how Findlay plays, and they already have an 11-point lead. So now, if the first 5 minutes, you've got to chip away, because if you don't, they're going to hold the ball and take the shots that they want, and shot selection is very key for them.
A reminder that this live game is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. For the number 1 buy with the number 1 guy, the place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White Chevrolet. And remember, you can see all the great deals at DaveWhiteChevy.com. Findlay in white, Whitmer in navy blue. Findlay being paced by Javante Hill with 14 points. Makai Leach has 9 to lead the way for Whitmer. And that's not the start to the half that Jim Ruckey would have wanted. Turnover on Findlay's first possession after playing the first 14 minutes of the game without one. Makai Leach is fouled hard and ruined the basket.
That's the kind of thing you need to have happen. You get downhill, Leach going in transition. No one stopped him early, so now he's going up and he gets fouled. Gets something with the clock stop.
This will be Whitmer's first free throw attempt of the game.
I guarantee you, Coach Stacy talked about that in the locker room, that and shot selection. I guarantee you.
And I'm not surprised, given how he played in the first half, that it's Makai Leach who takes that first Whitmer free throw.
Oh, no question. Now, we were talking right at after half. If Findlay goes back to that 1-3-1, I would stick Leach in the corner. He showed you he can score off the back door, and so I would, he's capable of doing it. He finishes around the basket very well. Need another stop right here for Whitmer.
You didn't hear us say it in the first half. Andre Young, the terrific sophomore guard for Whitmer, is not in uniform tonight. We're told he will not play tomorrow either. Coach Stacy telling us it's because of failure to live up to his expectations for him. Sam Ernst gets to the rack.
It's kind of hard to stop a guy when you have him in the middle of the field, in the middle of the court. You've got to contain it. You can't open up the hips. And right now, Whitmer's in a situation where Leach has no help responsibility. He's pretty much face guarding Hill.
Jemison was in foul trouble in the first half. It didn't play much. Here's McLeod is open. Maybe he'll like shooting at this end a little bit better.
Right there, they came off. It was a tag situation in the middle floor with the screen. All Hill did was shake up. On the skip pass, we found him.
Well, the Panthers are back within 8. And Hill was held. Boy, he will just scare the living daylights out of every opposing defense. Fouls on Leach, his second.
What they did there, they got him the ball on the outlet, so that way he's the aggressive guy going down to the basket. You watch right.
Cordonier leaning in, couldn't flip it in with the left hand.
Second stop right here by Whitmer. Finley's got to go ahead and get them a stop.
Makai Leach against Javante Hill got him airborne. Did the foul come on first or second contact? Give it to Javante.
Here again, get another bucket, get 2 free throws with the clock stop. Chip away.
Makai Leach, one of several high-profile transfers to join the Whitmer program. He had the 2 that came from Emmanuel Christian and Young and Tylen Davis, and McLeod moved up from Wauseon. Makai Leach and Antoine West been good friends for a while. They played together from 6th grade through 8th grade, went to different high schools. Leach to Central Catholic initially. And I wondered, with kind of a crowded backcourt, if everybody was going to stay happy with how many shots and how many minutes they were getting. That hasn't really been an issue so far. That's something that Anthony Stacy as a coach is really, really good at.
That's what he talked about with that loss. He said that they didn't play their type of game. They weren't sharing the ball as well, and they took some ill-advised shots. So he's talked about it, and you can see the growth on it.
They made a point of saying after the first Findlay game, we did not have a good day of practice yesterday and should have kept them on the floor a bit longer. Another stop by Whitmer. We're seeing a lot more of Cordonier trying to score inside, and it isn't happening for Findlay. Just to finish up that point, I asked Coach Stacy before tip-off tonight, did you get a better day of practice than him yesterday? And he said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. You knew he would.
McLeod. Short. Davis left his feet too early, but kept it alive to Antoine West, who still can't buy a bucket. He has not scored since those 2 threes in the opening quarter. Held ball, Arrow keeps it with Whitmer.
West just needed to go ahead, keep his eyes on the basket, let that hit the corner of that square and drop in that basket.
Here's another look at this sequence. Davis flying into your picture almost before the ball hit the rim. But it's that tenacity that kept the Panthers in possession. Tamarian Davis in the starting lineup without Andre Young has only had 2 points, but has been impactful in other ways.
They were trying to jump that pass. They've been doing it all game.
Leach getting it inside and denied by Will Cordonier. Ernst and company running the floor. The kick out. Cordonier open.
Drive and kick. That's the best time to shoot a three on a drive and kick. Cordonier's got his feet set. Let it go.
Antoine West turned the corner. There's the kick. Davis drives. West will try and answer the Cordonier three with one of his own and can't do it. But a foul on Wairau in the battle for the rebound.
Both teams are being physical, trying to figure out a way to go ahead and take control of this game. Whitmer's trying to figure out how to come back, and Philly wants to keep the lead. You expect both of these teams to make a nice run in the state tournament, I'm telling you. We can see this again.
It's a question of how soon might they run into one another. Should that happen, there are a lot of dangerous teams in the Division I dual districts in Northwest Ohio. Jennison missing at the rim after a great setup by West. And that was tipped by Cordonier, trying to get that back to the perimeter.
Jamison, I thought, should have went up with that one. Spin move.
Oh, and a late whistle against the Panthers. That'll send Hill to the free throw line. Foul was on Elijah McLeod. That's 2 on the senior.
Now you have to know, he's been doing it all game, and you've seen it in film sessions. Hill gets down there, you cut him off, he's ready for that spin. You've got to be there to rotate because you know that's part of what he likes to do. Everything you're seeing right now, I guarantee you, between Cole Myers and the coaching staff of Coach Stacy, they've talked about the kids just have to execute it. And the same thing for Findlay.
Both teams been clutch at the free throw line. Findlay now 8 of 8, Whitmer 4 for 4. The good news from Whitmer's point of view, Findlay's already committed 3 fouls, so it'll only take 2 more to get Whitmer into the bonus for the rest of the quarter. Alan Davis out to set the screen. No look to the corner. McLeod over to Findlay. He's getting good looks. They're just not going in.
He's getting great looks, and they're finding him. But here's what I'll tell you, too. They believe in him, so they continue to pass to him because they know any moment now he can knock down a string of threes.
He is out of the game for the moment. Damian Clay comes back in. We saw a little bit of him in the first half. Leach almost forcing a turnover, and then Javante Hill was tripped. In real time, I thought he had just blown a tire, so to speak. Goes on Leach, and crucially, that's his 3rd.
Hill's the guy that Philly wants to have the ball in his hands because of the matchup and him going down to the basket. Right here.
Watch how much contact there is or isn't. I think he just got his feet tangled up, maybe with Leach. Oh, there's Javante laying it in.
And on cue, downhill.
Javante downhill indeed. That lead has ballooned up to 13 again. Whitmer had gotten it down to 6. This is 7 straight Trojan points. And Leach gets fouled.
Nice pass.
3 on Wairau. Third team All-Ohio defensive back in the fall. We said in the first half has really embraced the idea of being a defense-first guy. Got other guys that can score, including him, but he doesn't have to for his team to win. Best and Barnes check in. Wairau and Ernst to the bench. Davis got Hill to fly by. West open from the top. Needed that. Didn't get it. Clay trying to run it down and does.
See how physical Montgomery is? Oh, my goodness.
That just slipped out of Antoine West's hands. Tylen Davis is more of a Dennis Rodman type than anything. Can't get the close one to drop. I think of him as Dennis Rodman with a more sensible hair color.
Here's the back door.
Didn't pick up Hill. Spun one way, then the other. Wouldn't drop. Fought for and grabbed by Barnes. Montgomery for the Dudes.
Montgomery, right place, right time. Strong finish. Strong finish.
Anthony Stacy calls a full timeout. Brought to you by Genoa Bank. This is loud as this gym has been all night long. The Findlay lead up to 15 points.
CarStereo1.com. Turtle.
Ballas Buick GMC has great deals on their powerful lineup of Northwest Ohio's largest selection of Buicks and GMCs. Now's the time to buy. Ballas Used Cars has a fantastic selection, including GM certified vehicles that come with a 12-month bumper-to-bumper warranty. Ballas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at BallasBuickGMC.com.
High school sports on BCSN is brought to you by Appliance Center, voted the #1 furniture store for the last 7 years. And by Genoa Bank. We take your banking needs seriously.
Well, it's been Findlay's ability to make runs that has really separated themselves from Whitmer in this game. They outscored the Panthers 18-3 to end the opening quarter. They're on a 9-0 spurt right now. Not that long ago, it was 33-27. It felt like Whitmer was building up ahead of steam. That took a funky spin off of a Findlay shoe top out of bounds. Well, they're not out of it, but every possession that goes by is going to make it more and more difficult on Whitmer to come back.
That's true.
They're not going to be able to do much quickly against this Findlay defense that is so locked in and so physical, and offensively they're nothing if not patient. Kind of felt like an afterthought of a shot from Mekhi Leach, and it doesn't pay off.
If they stay in a 1-3-1, I'll explain to you what I was talking about, Mason, with the cut. Nice.
Montgomery, the kick out. This is Barnes. No. Antoine West with a board. Such a quiet night for him. He finds Davis. Leach driving, twisting, and gets fouled. First on Brody Barnes. Whitmer's in the bonus for the final minute 14 of the quarter. All of Leach's points in the second half have come at the free throw line. He's 5 for 5 at the stripe, as Ernst returns for Findlay.
Findlay's done a very good job of on-ball and on-ball defense and rotating as a team. All 5 guys moving at the same time. They are so physical.
And it's not just what they do defensively. They run through their cuts, and everything they do comes with purpose and intent offensively. And we made the point in the first half, that's such a difficult intensity level and physicality level for other teams to match up with.
They're going to take the last shot right here.
Cordonier almost rose up in the corner. And that was kind of a lazy pass. It's picked off by Tamarion Davis, contested by Montgomery. Davis gets the and one, and then a technical for getting in Montgomery's face.
Can't do that in this environment when you're trying to come back. Learning experience right there for the tournament time. I know he's excited right there. Got his deflection, long court pass, finished through contact.
It's that right there, yeah. Right in front of the official. That does get called. So they'll confirm the scores table. The basket counts. There'll be a technical free throw. That should come before the Davis free throw, correct?
It should.
Well, we had questions about the free throws that were given at the end of the first half as well.
No. He's going to shoot his free throws. He's going to shoot his free throw for finishing, and then they'll go to the other end. He did the hard part. He finished through contact. I mean, Montgomery gave him a nice hack. He kept his eyes on the basket. You can see his eyes literally locked in on the basket when he finished.
He's had a good game except for that moment, which I'm sure he'd want back.
He'd take it back, yes. No, wait.
They're going to give him a second free throw, but no, the technical should be at the other end.
Yeah.
Will Cordonier will take him.
Because he finished it. He finished the basket. It's a three-point play, the old-fashioned way.
Which, frankly, the way Whitmer played offensively in the first half, I didn't think we would see that in the second. They spent such little time getting to the basket.
Like I said earlier, I guarantee you Coach Stacy talked about that at halftime and getting on the guys.
Cordonier only gets one of the two. He was offered in January by the University of Findlay. Of course, when one of your longtime teammates is the son of the University of Findlay head coach, I'm sure Charlie gets this team an awful lot. That was the first missed free throw of the game, by the way.
It was good to see him. I haven't seen him. We used to run into one another a lot on the recruiting trail when I was the head coach at Tiffin. So it was good to see him out there at the concession stand.
And what a marvelous team he puts on the floor every year, often featuring a fair amount of Northwest Ohio guys. One of my favorite recent BCSN
Back
players.
doors, got lost him.
Khalil Luster from Lima Senior is there right now, among others.
Got to see ball and man.
Down to 6 seconds. Ernst from deep. That may be a dagger to the heart of the Panthers.
Wow. And we were just talking about his dad. I was just talking about his dad out there at the concession stand. Wow.
I'm sure Charlie is grinning from ear to ear after that. That gives Findlay a 14-point lead with 8 minutes left.
Get the #1 buy from the #1 guy, Dave White, Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. His reputation says it all. For the #1 buy from the #1 guy. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White, Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
Ballas Buick GMC has great deals on their powerful lineup of Northwest Ohio's largest selection of Buicks and GMCs. Now's the time to buy. Ballas Used Cars has a fantastic selection, including GM certified vehicles that come with a 12-month bumper-to-bumper warranty. Ballas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at BallasBuickGMC.com.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Car Stereo One, Toledo's newest one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. Turtle. And by Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Findlay up 14. Fourth quarter is underway. So Whitmer team that averages 74 points per game, and they've got just 32 right now. Findlay has made life so difficult for Whitmer offensively. And the look was there, but Hill couldn't link up with Wyrow.
Probably needed to face up, triple that step through there, and give him a nice bounce pass. He had Wyrow for that layup. You're going to have to see Whitmer's going to have to do some more of that where they got to double team the ball in order to try to create a tempo to get the ball back.
Now, we've seen some different defensive looks from Findlay, but the 1-3-1 has in particular given Whitmer problems, though against the 1-3-1, that's what's often open, that corner three.
The corner threes are open, and also that from opposite corners are flashing in.
Damian Clay who hit that one.
They want you to shoot those jump shots. You're going to run a jump. Wyrell did the right thing, flash right in front of the basketball.
Cordonier gets a shove for Mekhi Leach, and that's his fourth.
The guy guarding Wyrell, lefty, he ran right in front of him, which made Whitmer had to collapse. And Cordonier was right diagonal from him, and he dropped that pass right off to him. Great plays. Smart plays.
After missing one of the technical free throws late in the third quarter, Cordonier knocks down the first one here. 17.3 points, 5.9 rebounds a game. Broke out last year, put on 25 pounds of muscle between sophomore and junior year so that he could bang with interior defenders to the varsity level, and that's the kind of mistake that Whitmer absolutely cannot afford to make at this stage.
I didn't expect that. That was a great call.
And then Clay unable to finish.
The 1-2-2 full court press, get a turnover. Well coached, well done. Here again, I'll say it again. You have to be where you see both ball and man, because right now is the opportunity for backdoors if you're Findlay. So Whitmer has to see ball and man. High hands on closeouts. And contain the dribble.
Well, long Findlay possessions are just fine with a lead this big, though they would have preferred not to turn it over right there. Leach spun into trouble. Cordonier came down, and he'll get called for that foul.
Now, will Whitmer put on a full court press here?
Well, they may need to.
Down 15.
But Findlay, so confident and composed in everything that they do. They're not the kind of team that rattles easily.
No, that comes from playing with one another for so long.
Kyle Leach now with 17 points. And really, if they are going to do the run and jump, it has to be 4 against 5, because Mekhi Leach with 4 fouls, they cannot afford for him to foul out. Montgomery, the soft touch, driving in.
It's hard to run and jump in the middle of the floor. You've got to get him off to a side.
McLeod, I think I'm right in saying in each half he has made his first 3-point attempt and then missed all subsequent threes.
Yep. Go middle.
Montgomery driving. Leach had to back off.
That's what happens when you run and jump. The rotation is short because you have 2 guys already ahead of the basketball.
Antoine West with a 3, first points since the first quarter for him. Anthony Stacy takes a quick 30-second timeout. Did you know BCSN has a podcast? The BCSN Nation podcast with Brandon Carnes, Justin Feldkamp, and Mike Robinson. Check them out for all things local sports. Each new episode drops Wednesdays at 4 o'clock on BCSN TV and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Just search BCSN Nation. This game has given those guys plenty to talk about. Well, this would put Findlay in sole command of first place in the NLL Buckeye Division. If they hang on here, they've got 2 conference games left after this. Second matchups against Northview and then Perrysburg on the final night of the regular season. So it is possible that we could have 3 2-loss teams coming out of the Buckeye Division. We had a 3-way tie for the first NLL Buckeye football championship between Whitmer and Perrysburg. Anthony Wayne.
Just what we talked about, full court press.
Almost forced the turnover.
Someone has to go middle.
Hand in. Cordonier, from a time management standpoint anyway, probably did the wise thing in not trying to drive and force a shot there.
They do such a good job. The guy that just left is the guy that goes and gets open.
That's a rare miscue. I was just about to say, to your point earlier about how tough it is to come back against this Findlay team, this might be the toughest team to come back against I've seen in a decade.
It's the style of play and the discipline. The discipline more than anything. You know, they're strong with the basketball. They communicate. They run their stuff.
McLeod keeps on shooting. You knew he was going to make at least one more. With an 11, 54-43. Almost able to generate the stop, but a fortunate bounce, and it finds its way to Montgomery.
Montgomery is always at the right place at the right time. That's a great guy to have coming off the bench, a guy that should be starting, but he said, I'm not.
Full timeout taken by the Trojans.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's a place rooted in its strong focus on college prep curriculum and academics in the classroom that is central to success to so many. Come discover that special place. Central Catholic High School. Central to life. Central to academics.
Get the number one buy from the number one guy, Dave White, Chevrolet. The best deal you will ever see. And standard equipment includes integrity. His reputation says it all. For the number one buy from the number one guy. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White, Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, greatest of all times.
Findlay's lead is 13 points, and Whitmer short on time to mount a comeback. Rolling the ball up to half court with 4.5 minutes left, and then almost immediately turning the ball over. Yikes. Not that they needed straight out of the timeout.
All five guards from Findlay guarding the ball. Communication, you see the hand point. Early help.
Tough shot, won't go for West. Came off of Findlay fingertips last.
Whitmer still scrapping. He's trying to fight.
Oh.
Didn't have a basketball.
That sounded Coach Stacy wanted taking the inbound pass. Not Davis, but Sam Just. And in the end, he threw it away. Although Ben Best came down out of bounds.
Best has been real physical with West. Right there trying to get around that screen from the inbounds. You wouldn't know it, but Findlay's a very, very aggressive and a physical basketball team.
I think anybody that plays against them figures that out in a hurry. They'll have the bruises to prove it afterwards.
They slide their feet. Oh, my.
West slipped that to Davis. Findlay fans wanted a treble, did not get it.
Nice pass.
And the full court again, which the Trojans are able to deal with. Cordonier, wide open. In and out. Got a chance to get it within 10 on this trip. West can't find the range, and Cordonier rises over just to grab the rebound.
Cordonier needs to come middle. He does.
Hill down the lane. Bumped by Just, who is hobbled. I wonder if he's cramping. Sam Just. He is in some real discomfort lying down on the baseline.
He may have rolled it.
It's tough to tell from that angle where contact might have been made. And there isn't a great deal of space on either baseline here. You've only got a couple feet of clearance from the line to the padding on the wall.
It's good to see him getting up, walking off with under his own power.
And just the senior.
Now, if you're Whitmer, you got to, I mean, the clock is right now becoming your enemy more so than Findlay because you only have 2:58 and you're down, what is it, 11? Nope. No, 11.
It's 11, yeah. Yeah, we had said that Antoine West had a chance to get it down to 8 points,
right,
but he was a little long on the three.
Yep, in transition. Free throws will be big to close out. Now, question is, can we see this for a third time?
We very well may. We alluded to it earlier. It's just a question of how early in the tournament might we see that. Regional semifinal between Whitmer and Findlay potentially at Savage Arena has a nice ring to it on the big floor, the really big floor.
St. John's and some other schools may have something to say about it, though.
Southview's had a good year. Clay won't be easy for anybody. Southview, and you got a player like Micah Bayes, that'll keep you in games. And St. Francis, they haven't won without the two Horton brothers, but they've been in every game since then, and they play exceptionally hard. They just run out of steam because they don't have any depth at the moment.
And they play in a tough league, so they're battle tested. Good back tap
by West. He'll pull up, launch a three, come up short. Hill saw that coming. He will invite the foul, which comes. If that's Leach, he's done. It is not. It's on Antoine West. That gets the Whitmer student section, who've been so vocal early in this game, making their way to the exits. Being waved in that direction by the Findlay student section. They've been great tonight.
It's a great atmosphere. This is great for high school basketball.
This has been an extremely impressive Findlay performance. Down 8-3 early in the game. You knew Whitmer would come in having a point to prove. It has been essentially all Findlay since then. Whitmer ball on the turnover.
This is just a tough environment to play in. It's great for high school basketball. I'm loving it, how it feels. Findlay's protecting their home floor.
This has been a really fun night. 90 seconds remaining.
They move on a string.
Damian Clay,
This team is so unselfish.
Findlay gets a timeout called with their man trapped in the corner. It's a full timeout. That gives us time to tell you about tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Car Stereo 1. For the tone that he set early on, it's got to be Javonte Hill.
It's no question. No question. The ball, you can tell in tonight's game, they were spacing the floor, that he was the guy that was going to trigger it. And then once he got downhill, he was able to find players, but at the same time, finish himself through contact and a high at the rim.
Devontae Hill, 20 points. Didn't get any big-time dunks. We're not going to see him on SportsCenter next week. But he is the Car Stereo One player of the game. Car Stereo One, Toledo's newest one-stop shop for all of your vehicle's needs. Turtle. Let's get Findlay to 16-1. You would think they'll end up 5, possibly 4 in next week's AP poll. They'll certainly jump over Whitmer, who may still be in the top 10.
Oh, they should be.
With their only losses being to a top 5 team like Findlay, they absolutely ought to be. What is it specifically about Findlay that makes a Whitmer team that has dominated everybody else all season such a tough matchup for them?
Just the discipline. Just strictly discipline. When you look at the situation, they switched up the defenses. They came out man-to-man. They went in the first half, and they switched up to the 1-3-1. Whitmer hit a couple threes early and knocked them down. And so you thought, hey, they're going to knock down some threes and still continue to get downhill. And then when Philly switched up to that 1-3-1, changed the game. They are so disciplined and tough.
They're physically tough.
Yes.
Mentally, they're possibly tougher than they are physically.
And unselfish. I think it goes to what you talked about earlier. Montgomery was supposed to be a starter. It talks about how their team is connected. Coach, I'd like to see what's going on. You guys are all rolling. I'll come off the bench.
But he's in there at winning time. And he and Sam Ernst, two guys that don't do a ton of scoring for this Findlay team, have gone over their averages. Ryan Montgomery averages about 5 a game. He's gotten to 10. Sam Ernst averages 6 and has 9, including that absolute dagger of a 3 at the third quarter horn.
Doesn't hurt that you're a coach's son, and so you talked about basketball your whole life. So nothing rattles you because you've talked about it since you were little.
Another Findlay timeout. This senior class that's played together since roughly third grade, their first coach was Ron Niekamp, a longtime former University of Findlay head coach who had 26 consecutive winning seasons, won them a Division II national championship, and in retirement started coaching his grandson's team, and that grandson is Will Cordonier.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So here again, you got a grandson of a coach.
Yep. Willis said, I had no idea how big a deal Grandpa was. He was just granddad, and we were learning basketball from him. They had to do the drill where you dribble and every day. He said, I hated it, but clearly we benefited from that.
It
in
paid
the long
off.
term.
It paid off.
Well, for the second time this season, Findlay gets a huge, emphatic win over an extremely talented Whitmer Panthers team. Beat them by 22 at their place. They hold serve at home. A 13-point, 58-45 win that should see Findlay jump into the top 5 in Division I.
What a game. What a game.
Jim Ruckey had the same facial expression at tip-off as he does at the end.
Never
of a
changes.
Huge win. It does not change, nor does the way they play. The sets haven't changed since 1997. But what they do works, and when it works as well as it always does for him, why change it? They can celebrate with the student body out on the floor as Whitmer heads back to the locker room. This is a Findlay team that was picked third in the Buckeye Division in the preseason poll. Underestimated by everyone, and possibly even Coach Rookie. We said the words from him at the start of the year, cautiously optimistic that we can be a good basketball team. They are a really good basketball team.
All the pieces fit. You had, and everyone accepts their role from Findlay. So when you get kids to accept their roles, and you got the guy that can get downhill and hill, you got a big guy that can step away from the basket and knock down shots. And you have the coach's son who's running your point guard that's not going to be rattled by anything, and the chemistry, you set yourself up for success.
For Rodney Martin and all of our crew, this is Mason Lowry saying so long. This has been a presentation of BCSN, seen only on Buckeye.